AT&T Entertainment, official sponsor of Extra Innings. Tenth inning, it's 3-3, each team with 7 hits. Sean Doolittle will continue, facing the top of the Cubs order.
Anthony's been good today. 2 hits, could easily have a third.
Two for 4 from the leadoff spot. Joe tweaking the lineup with the Cubs struggling offensively. Anthony had gone 0 for 16 over his previous 5 games before today. That elixir is the leadoff spot, it seems, for him, and he just hit a line shot to Defoe for the first out. Horrible luck.
Yeah, the second time he has lined out this afternoon. Robles got him back in the 5th. And this one scalded right at Defoe. Such is baseball.
Bryant has 2 hits as well and scored in the 4th inning. Fastball strike. That gets by everybody. Skies have looked a little iffy the last few innings, but so far so good. Andy Rosario, the lefty, is up. Excellent work by Pedro Strop tonight.
He's forcing it a little bit here today. Ball is not real clean coming out of his hand. Doolittle an all-star this year for the 2nd time in his career. Also made the all-star team in 2014 with Oakland.
Foul strike. Out into left center and down. And he's going to try for 2, and he is going to make it. Little drop out there by Soto. I don't think it would have made a difference.
Third hit of the day for KB. First 2 weren't hit all that sharply. This one was. He got on top of that high fastball from Doolittle. He had 2 bases on his mind the whole time going down the line. And then with the mishandle by Soto, made it that much easier.
Murphy is overdue. Toward the middle. And knocked down only by Defoe. Throw to third, Bryant back in. Defoe couldn't handle it, and the Cubs have him at the corners.
Well, nothing wrong with accepting a little charity.
And the batter is Javier Baez. First the visit from Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach. So an error by Turner in the 9th. Defoe here in the 10th.
Yeah, and it's one thing, you know, if you got a speedy guy going down the line and you really have to hurry to make that play, more understandable. Murphy does not run well.
That's Coda Glover. Yep. Middle guys in halfway. Corner men about even with a bag, including Zimmerman holding Murphy. Baez fouls off.
And he'll start there and he'll just climb the ladder with that fastball, try to get Javi to chase, maybe take a shot down with the changeup at some point, but I think his thinking is going to be he's all in on the punch out on elevated fastball.
Bunted, and it's going to work. Cubs lead 4-3. Javier Baez comes through again.
Well, that's just a great call by Joe Madden. He loves the safety squeeze. He loves Baez's ability to get it down. You know, the big swing might not get to that high pitch, but a bunt from a guy like Baez who's so clever with his bat in his hands. You see, Brian, a little bit of a hesitation as the ball's airborne. And once he realizes it's going to get down, he streaks home with a go-ahead run.
A perfectly placed bunt. Cubs lead 4-3 in the 10th. Dave Martinez makes a move, and we are back after the break.
During Ford SUV season, find out why more people come back to Ford than any other brand. Here's a reason.
We've got room.
And here's another.
Waze says it's faster to take the side streets.
Perfect.
And by the way, Ford has won more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards than any other brand. Now get Explorer with $3,500 cash back plus $1,000 when financed through Ford Credit. Now during Ford SUV season.
Oh, shut this off. It's cool.
Desire, believe when I say I want it that way.
BP gasoline helps clean your engine for more miles per tank and more moves per tank.
Ready to do this?
Yes.
Turn right here.
During the Jeep Adventure Days event,
So fun.
discover deals as legendary as Jeep SUV's 4x4 capability
That's so cool.
and the confidence to go where you've never gone before. It's more than just a test drive. It's your first adventure. Start it off with a great deal at the Jeep Adventure Days event. Get $4,000 combined cash allowance plus $1,000 bonus cash, or well-qualified lessees get this low-mileage lease on select 2018 Compass models.
The toast of the game is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot, and it is Javier Baez. Once again today, RBI double fourth. That gave the Cubs the lead. Home run in the 6th gave the Cubs the lead. A bunt single in the 10th gave the Cubs the lead. Sean Doolittle tipping his cap figuratively to Baez. Binny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs, and another BioFreeze call to the pen brings on Coda Glover.
Right-hander works for the 17th time, 2.84 his ERA. So what you're saying is Baez, his win probability added, took a big jump today with his performance. Doing it with the long ball and then the short game.
Actually, his double in the 4th tied the game. Home run in the 6th gave the Cubs the lead. And then the lead bunt hit here in the 10th. So 2 go-ahead RBIs today. Contreras takes outside. Runners at first and second. A 1-run advantage. And it looks like it will be Randy Rosario in the bottom of this inning.
Tommy La Stella's out on deck for Strop. You'd love to give Randy a little wiggle room.
Glover's 1-1. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Wilson came off the bench to bat for Victor Caratini in the 8th with the bases loaded and 1 out, and Greg Holland struck him out. So a chance at a little redemption here for Wilson. Got a hitter's count.
The 3-1 swing and a miss. Looking ahead, if I may. Rosario will face Rendon, Soto, and Zimmerman. Not easy. That's why you'd like these add-ons. Oh, that's a balk. Unless, did he step off first?
Off, yeah.
He did. Okay. Pulled his foot back off the rubber and then fake to first. Yep, he did. Quick feet. Good catch. Runners take off. Ball 4 to load the bases.
Strop gonna hit.
It will be Strop and not La Stella. So I guess Joe's thought here is I want to have Pedro to pitch.
Randy Rosario's heart rate probably just went down a little bit.
Well, this could end up being an epic game for Pedro Strop, who came in to pitch with 1 out in the 8th inning.
Well, again, we've talked about it all day. September baseball in the heat of a pennant race. You ask a little bit more from your guys. Strop has not been used a lot lately. Putting his work in here today. Infield in. Strop, a former minor league infielder.
And one of the reasons he's not an infielder anymore is he couldn't hit. But he gladly admitted it.
He hit well enough to get signed.
Yes. And by the way, he has never gotten more than 6 outs in a big league game. He's going to apparently try to do that here today. Infield in, bases loaded. Swing and a miss. The guys who can't hit get hits all the time. You see pitchers who hit 046 come up with base hits. And you just don't want them to hit into a double play. That would be the worst case. Ground ball. They'll get 1. And they just got 2, and Strop is hobbling. Worst case scenario, let me restate, would be a double play and an injury. Joe will immediately call for the replay. He's going to challenge the play, and Strop is hobbling, and that is terrible.
He hit the ball sharply, and Wieters took a lot of time at home plate before making this throw to first base.
Looked like on the landing on the bag, the left foot or leg. So they are looking at the call in New York, but the biggest question is Pedro Strop's health.
Wow, that is eyelash close. Hamstring. Yeah, and it may have happened to his last couple of strides there before hitting the base did not look comfortable.
This is terrible news, because you're concerned about today and beyond, more importantly, and they are going to uphold the call. So we will go to the bottom of the 10th, and it will be Randy Rosario after all. And what a wild game. The Cubs lead 4-3.
Hey, Javi, how did you get your nickname, El Mago?
Give me your keys.
Javi?
Lease a new 2018 RAV4 for just $199 a month, or get $2,000 customer cash on RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
We've come so far, I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars, I've been around. I felt some pain, I've seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days.
We know the feeling. The day you pick up your new car is a big day.
The entire experience has been so easy. I searched Webb's inventory online, and then Mike helped me find the perfect car for me.
And the relationship's just begun. You can expect A+ service from our team for the lifetime of your car.
Visit webcars.com for a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at the right price with the right options. Get the payment you want and the vehicle you deserve. Go to webcars.com and visit your Webb family dealer today.
Bottom of the 10th, Randy Rosario will try to save the game. Pedro Strop, the pitcher of record. Pedro leaving due to what appears to be a left hamstring injury. And Randy will try to notch what can be an enormous save.
Yeah, how about that? You know, when they decided to keep Strop in the game, I mentioned how his heart rate probably settled down, and obviously it spiked once Pedro crossed first base limping. Rosario comes into an extreme high leverage situation. He's done a nice job. He's been cool under duress here in his rookie year. Very talented hitters to deal with. Rendon, Soto, Zimmerman. Worked a scoreless 6th in the ball game last night. He has 2 professional saves, both at the minor league level, one at AA last year, and Class A ball the year before.
Now you can hand me my stomach pill.
Yeah. Well, not exactly Mike Montgomery getting his first career save in Game 7 of a World Series, but you get the idea.
First pitch to Rendon. Borderline, and Randy didn't get the call. There's no guarantee he's going to finish this inning or finish this win. There are two guys up in the bullpen. Joe will mix and match as needed. Mills and Garcia. Popped up. Right side. Rizzo and Murphy, and it's Anthony for the first out.
Well, that's huge. That allows Rosario to take a little bit of a breather.
April 10th, I say to you, on September 13th with a one-game lead, Randy Rosario will be pitching in a safe spot, and Alec Mills and Jaime Garcia are loosening in the Cubs pen in the 10th inning.
First, the follow-up question, of course, will be Rosario. That was a kid we saw a little bit in spring training, right? Yeah, we don't know much about him.
Soto with one out. The ebbs and flows of a big league season.
Soto smothered the ball last time, just scalded it for a line out to right.
He slugs higher against lefties and righties. 7 of his 19 have been off lefties. So while you can never say a 19-year-old is a finished product, he's about as close to it as it gets at that age. Bad miss, 3-0.
Probably Mills for Zimmerman, regardless of what happens here.
It has been quite a ball game, a makeup game after a rainout Sunday. Both teams coming back to DC just for this one. Cubs back home tomorrow night. Nationals fly to Atlanta. On the ground, Murphy, 2 down.
No movement yet from the Cubs dugout. It's tough to navigate your way through this for the manager when you don't, you're relying on guys you don't normally have out there in these critical situations.
Two outs, nobody aboard. Bottom of the 10th. In a 4-3 ball game, Cubs grab the lead on a bunt single by Javier Baez. Strike one. Strike two.
Oh, nice.
Here's the pitch. 1-2.
Ooh, 95. Rosario amped up, really cutting it loose. Cubs took the lead in the 4th. Nationals tied it in the 5th. Cubs took the lead in the 6th. Nationals tied it in the 7th.
The kick and the 1-2 is way off the inside. Cutting fastball.
Zimmerman has had many magic moments in this ballpark. Bunch of walk-off home runs,
including one in the first ever game here at Nationals Park. Stands way off the plate. Asks for time. Wilmer Defoe on deck. Swing and a miss. Cubs win. Woo. 4-3 in 10 innings. They've got a game-and-a-half lead now in the division, and we're heading home.
Well, about 3.5 hours ago, said if you're going to come all this way to play, you might as well win, and the Cubs pull it off. Unconventional, to say the least. They used a platoon worth of relief pitching here today, and finally outlast the Nationals 4-3 with, of course, Randy Rosario out there to finish it off.
Certainly concerned about Pedro Strop, but the Cubs can smile that they flew all the way back to D.C. and picked up a critical win. 85-61 on the year. They take 4 out of 7 against the Nationals. And Randy Rosario with a huge first career save. The Corona updated NL Central standings. Cardinals tonight host the Dodgers. Brewers are off. So for JD and our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew, Len Casper with your final. In 10, Cubs 4, Nationals 3. We're back with you here on NBC Sports Chicago Saturday, 2:30 for our pregame coverage. First pitch just after 3 as the Cubs host the Cincinnati Reds. And coming up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, Postgame Live.
This is Gemütlichkeit, the spirit of Wisconsin. Friendship, warmth, and good cheer. That's Gemütlichkeit, and that's Wisconsin.
I put a spell on you. Yeah, because you're mine.
With Chase ATMs, Serena can now grab cash on the go, all with the tap of her phone.
The things you do.
No card, no problem. Life lived Serena's way. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Our customers are people who work hard for their money. So we do everything we can to make their money work hard for them. At Meijer, we see it as a simple matter of respect. That's why for 80 years now, low prices have been built into the way we do business. Because the most important thing we can earn is the right to shake someone's hand and look them in the eye. Come see for yourself.
Now, T-Mobile has unlimited for the rest of us. Unlimited ways to be you. Unlimited ways to share with others. Unlimited ways to live for the moment. All for as low as $30 a line. Unlimited for you, for them, for all. Right now, get unlimited for as low as $30 per line for 4 lines at T-Mobile.
At Papa John's, when it comes to better ingredients, better pizza, we deliver. And now we're delivering extra value, too.
Right now, get any pan pizza and a 2-liter for only $12. Use promo code ChicagoPan at papajohns.com today.
It's just you, me, and the to-do list. Manure shopping on a Sunday? Smells like romance. And a toilet paper pickup, because that's how we roll, baby. Airing your dirty laundry? Oh, no, you didn't. BP gasoline helps clean your engine for more miles per tank and more quality time per tank.
Wisconsin fall colors. Available while supplies last.
Cubs baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers. As reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. And by Toyota. Tested, trusted Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Swing and a miss. Cubs win. Woo.
Wow. That's right. Wow. 4-3 your final. Cubs beat the Nationals 4-10-0. Just a scotch better than 3-7-1. It's Strop 6-1 over Doolittle 3-3. Randy Rosario is first save. Wow. Hello, welcome into Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. That's Kelly Kroll. I'm David Kaplan. David DeJesus has the day off. Okay.
He missed a good one.
He did. We are all in the newsroom where we're guessing this move and second guessing that move, and we'll get into all of that. But that was a much needed victory.
Yeah, for as many must wins as the guys will or won't tell you they need, or it's not, or it is, this was a must win game. Because if it goes the other direction, especially with the way this game played out, that is a crushing blow. You think about all the pitchers they used and all of the guys who were getting robbed of hard hits and deep into counts. I think that if that game goes the other way, we could have seen this team unravel. Honestly, as good and as experienced as they are, this goes the other way. It's awful. This win, I think we see the whole team flying back in their uniforms tonight.
Probably.
Just like Anthony Rizzo.
Riz said this morning.
Like we said, this could be that galvanizing win.
No doubt.
That from here on out, that could be it. That could be it for the Brewers. See you later. Cubs finish this off here.
We'll find out. All right, let's go to the 7th inning. Carl Edwards Jr., and I'm on the record, I would never have used him, period.
Okay,
right
we
now,
got that out of the way early.
He's not in a good place, so I'm just putting it out there. I would not have pitched him. They did. He actually got the first 2 outs. Then he walked a man, and then he gives up to a good hitter, Trey Turner, an RBI double to left field. Unfortunately, that ball didn't get out of the ballpark. That ball was smoked. Look, I know Joe said yesterday, we were both there in the locker or in the press room when he said, we got to get this guy right.
Yeah.
Well, for me, get him right against the Reds or the White Sox or the Diamondbacks or whoever else is on the schedule. You had to find a way to win a game day. I can't pitch that guy right now in any high leverage for me.
Okay, well, so I'm with you in that he got 2 quick outs with Eaton and Wieters right away, and then the walk. The walk hurt him quite a bit, and then that's probably where maybe Joe pulls him after Robles heads over to first, and then you've got Trey Turner, who is a very professional hitter who won a very good battle there against C.J. Edwards in the double. Yeah, it cost him, but I hear you in that Joe wants to see C.J. Edwards turn this thing around, and I don't know the conversations that are happening behind closed doors. I don't know if Edwards went in there and said, I feel right, I feel better, it's my time, let me do this. But they need him. That's all I can tell you. The Cubs need C.J. Edwards at his best if they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs, because now we don't know what's going on with
when I see velocity and he's normally 95 to 97, He's sitting today at 93. Tells me that the shoulder that bothered him might still be bothering.
It's possible. It's possible. And my biggest thing is how did C.J. Edwards walk away feeling today? Does he take this as a positive with those first 2 outs, or does he walk away even more defeated after having given up that tying run?
Well, we'll see. All right, let's go to the 8th inning. Cubs 8th inning, huge chance. Anthony Rizzo's going to lead off the inning with an infield hit. Scalds one down at Ryan Zimmerman. He can't field it. Backhand flip doesn't get there, and Rizzo is on. And Chris Bryant. There is a base hit to right center. Rizzo's going to stop at second. Cubs are in business, first and second, and nobody out. Now, can they get it done? Here's Daniel Murphy, slow roller. They're going to beat him to the bag just barely, but now it's second and third, and 1 out, and Javier Baez coming to the plate. And we all said they're going to walk him. They do. But then they hit Contreras for Caratini. We got to discuss this one. They strike out Contreras. They hit Zobrist, strikes him out, inning over. Okay, here's the thing. And there was 40 billion tweets out there that are, you cannot hit Contreras for Caratini. He's your hottest hitter. I get that. The problem with that rationale is, and I think you'll agree, Victor Caratini's facing a lefty in Grace. Soon as they bring Contreras in, now they go to the righty, Greg Holland. So Caratini's been burned. Everyone's probably saying, well, why don't you hit Caratini as a righty? He's hitting a $146, 6 of 41 as a right-hander. He's not very good as a right-hand hitter. As a lefty, different story. So now it's Contreras. Now, what I would have done, and I said this before the fact, I don't know if you agree with me or not, right now Wilson Contreras is struggling mightily.
At the plate.
Right. I've got Taylor Davis sitting in my dugout who can catch. So I would have used Tommy La Stella in that situation, burned Contreras, and now they've got to make Holland face a hitter. I'm putting Tommy La Stella against Greg Holland and taking my chances.
I hear your argument through and through, and I could have seen Joe doing that, and I could have completely understood it, and he would have been taking a lot less heat right now. I'm guessing, just because of how often I listen to Joe Maddon and his reasonings for why he does certain things, defense at the end of the ball game is his, #1 must-have, and there is nobody better behind the plate defensively than Wilson Contreras. That is the only reason I see this being the way Joe Maddon went. I think that way. Taylor Davis, sure. But really, you want Taylor Davis behind the plate
if I don't score, I can't take the lead.
who has already thrown a wild pitch once? I don't know.
If I don't score, I don't have the lead. The game's still tied then. He's just overmatched right now at the plate.
Either way, this doesn't make a difference if this offense is producing more. Am I right?
Correct.
This offense still looking slightly better, but we're going to get into some of these highlights. The way they squeaked this one out, you look at it and you go, man, it's just baseball, because they got robbed one way and then they end up getting a dribbler and a bunt that ends up working out. I mean, this game is something else. It really is. It's one of these games we will look back on and be like, wow.
They found a way to win
exactly
a baseball
right.
game. All right, let's look at our Gerber Collision and Glass play of the game. It's Javi at the plate, top 10. Men on the corners. Javi with the bunt pass to drawn-in infield. Just a real aggressive play, and Zimmerman can't make the play on it. Cubs take a 4-3 lead. It's just El Mago making a play.
It's never supposed to work out. I'd love to see the probability of what this was to be a hit.
John Doolittle.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
But you know what? He also got the double off earlier, right? They doubled off, who was over there? Almora at first, and Gore pops it up. So, again, you're sitting there thinking, after the end of the ninth, you're like, this can't be happening.
Okay.
Are we for real? And then we watch it play out like that. That's baseball.
Well, now we get another situation with the bases loaded.
Right.
And I understand Joe wants to use Strope another inning. They've thrown 21 pitches. Well, he grounds to third, easy to first, and guess what? We don't know the significance. It could be just mild cramp. It could be something more. We don't know. But Pedro Strop can't come back to the mound because Pedro Strop is dealing with something with his hamstring. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Wow.
I love how you have come back down to earth so much in the last 5 minutes, because I want you all to know, at home a few minutes ago, he was going nuts that Pedro Strop, what is he doing? Why is he?
Well, I would never have let him hit.
I would never let Pedro Strop hit.
I would never.
And my thought was, go back and look at how many pitches he had, and it was 21. And I think Joe feels comfortable letting him go a little bit further. They weren't stressful innings either for Pedro Strop.
There's no shot I'm letting him bat.
But my thing is, are you not whispering in his ear, maybe saying something to the effect of, even if you just stand up there with the bat on your shoulder, fine. But don't, whatever you do, you don't hurt yourself. Swinging, running, anything. I mean, that, like you just said, because I talked you back here, we don't know yet if there is a pulled hamstring or if this just tightened up on him. Certainly he felt it bark. You could tell by the way he was hobbling around there at the end that maybe they put ice on this and Pedro Strop is okay in a couple days.
Okay,
but
just from now, Paul Sullivan just tweeted,
Okay.
Joe Madden just told him, left hamstring soreness and probably out for a while.
Okay, yeah, well, they'll be very careful.
Bad injury.
Can we just be like, maybe this makes it that much more dramatic and exciting when Brandon Morrow comes back next week? Maybe that's what this was all about.
Yeah, I can't go there.
Because it makes it that much more exciting
I can't
of a
go
season.
There. All right, now for the BioFreeze pitching recap. Official external pain relief for the Chicago Cubs. All right, let's take a look at the numbers. Mike Montgomery, and we can talk about that one as well. Why did he come out of the game at 62 pitches? I don't know. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, 2 Ks, a walk, 62 pitches, 37 for strike. Joe Ross, 5 innings, a 4-hit, 2 earned run. That was his first start of the season. Did not strike out a man. Mike was pretty good. He had really heavy biting action on his breaking ball. Everything had a downward tilt. He was really good with his fastball command. I thought he got off to a real nice start. Didn't understand Joe taking him out, but I'm sure he's got his reason. Things worked out for a while until they gave up that tying run.
Yeah, I'm guessing, just going back and looking at my log, so the bottom of the fourth, the last out was that insane catch by David Bodie in left field. So Zimmerman hit a very hard ball. Then he comes back out for the 5th inning, and Sanchez singles right away. Maybe he just saw something from the dugout. The last 2 guys he faced got really good contact on him, and maybe that's why he just said, I'm going to go to my bullpen. They had a lot of guys down there to use. We didn't see them all. I was surprised that we didn't see some of the different guys, honestly, that are still out there. I was surprised we didn't see Rosario earlier in the game. Kinsler, he may have been down today. I'm not completely sure. And then you've got guys down there that not that you trust totally, but you've got Maples, and you've got Alec Mills, and you've got Tyler Chatwood, but you had a number of arms out there, so maybe that's what he thought when he saw Montgomery starting to get hit pretty hard. I'll turn to my bullpen now. I'm just guessing until we hear Joe Madden. We're not going to understand. I can't wait though to hear his reasonings, right, for all of this.
Some of these moves I'd love to hear. Here's your best starter ERA August 16th to the present. How about that? Chicago Cubs at the top of the heap after starting pitching had been an issue for a while. It has been fixed, and fixed in a big way. 2.70. Let's look at our UPS store. Taking care of business, player of the game. We got to go El Mago. 3 for 4 today. 3 RBIs. He gets the job done. He scores 2. He hits his 31st home run. And now he's at 103 RBIs, and he's having himself a legitimate MVP campaign.
Yeah, he sat on 30 for a long time. It's been nearly 2 weeks since he's had a home run and that RBI. Certainly, he looked the part today, and this guy is really, throughout the season, in different points where they have needed him most, he has really put them on his back, has he not? And he just makes things happen, and it was last night in the clubhouse. He looked at me when I said, hey, Joe Madden is asking for the bats to catch up with the pitching. How do you make it happen? And he said, we have to be more aggressive. And that's exactly what we saw from him today.
Especially that bunt that ended up winning the game. 75-plus extra base hits in a season, age 25 or younger in Cubs history.
It's an impressive list.
Ernie Banks, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, and Ron Santo. Pretty darn impressive right there. All right, time for a break here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. More to dissect. We'll be right back.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
So, thought you could use something special, you know, for retirement. One last trip through the toy store.
Funny, after all we've been through, this may be my first case of the nerves.
Oh, relax, Agent. I've kept you healthy this long.
Yes, you have, but come tomorrow, your protection may not be there.
I don't see you slowing down anytime soon. Here, take this.
So, you saved the best for last.
Chicago, you've got great taste. Thanks for making us your #1 beer. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Fast, reliable internet is crucial. Does it ever go down?
Yes. Can't do my job.
Business grinds to a halt.
Our gig speed network not only downloads files up to 20 times faster, we go beyond fast with 4G backup for complete reliability. So if the unexpected happens, you stay up and running. We lost power, but not to that.
I want that.
Just one more way we go beyond AT&T. For a limited time, get fast, reliable internet for a low price. Call now. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
At Papa John's, when it comes to better ingredients, better pizza, we deliver. And now we're delivering extra value, too.
Right now, get any pan pizza and a 2-liter for only $12. Use promo code ChicagoPan at papajohns.com today.
We were there from the start. As a fan,
as a player, we were there.
For the rain showers and champagne showers, we were there.
And we will continue to take you there every step of the way.
For new traditions and old, we will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there.
NBC5 and Televoodoo Chicago are teaming up to support the 21st Annual Chicago Football Classic. Join us at Soldier Field on Saturday, September 22nd as the Miles College Golden Bears take on the Morehouse College Maroon Tigers. Kickoff is at 3:30, and your ticket purchase makes a difference by providing scholarships to local students in need of financial assistance. It's a great game for a great cause. For more information, go to NBCChicago.com and search Football Classic. We'll see you there, and thanks for making a difference.
All right, time now for our 4 seasons heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? Who's hot last 7 days? How about Mike Trout? 11 for 23, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 5 runs scored. Who's not? Chris Davis. What do you want for $140 million? 0 for 15, no walks, and 5 Ks. Brutal. All right, welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. This is Anthony Rizzo on the plane yesterday. He said today that he is going to wear his uniform back home if they win, and he's going to get at least one teammate to do it with him. There you go.
Walking into the...
That's him walking in today.
Stadium
coming from the hotel. He's got his little equipment bag. He said, I threw some toiletries in there, and that's all I've got. And he singled in his first at-bat back in the leadoff spot.
Yep, got the team going for sure. And I just love, I mean, that Anthony Rizzo, what he did last night on that flight to come on there, it was just a way to lighten the mood and get his teammates having a good time again. And Chris Bryant said it this morning. It's exactly what we needed, Riz being Riz. And they felt good going into this game, and it was a much-needed win.
And there's Riz right there with the line drive. That was a really outstanding catch. Outstanding.
Yeah, he got robbed a couple times today. Is this the line out to, yeah.
And this is the ground ball that Zimmerman knocked down, and Rizzo was able to reach in that 8th inning when the Cubs just couldn't find a way.
There it is,
So
that one.
He was able to make really solid contact all day long. But the Cubs find a way to win. Here's our Jim Beam winning box score. And this one belongs to the Cubs. Riz 2 for 5. Bryant 3 for 5 with a double. A 1 for 5 day for Daniel Murphy. Javi Baez, a great day. 3 for 4, a double, a home run, 3 knocked in, scored 2. Victor Caratini, 1 for 2 with an RBI. So, but again, look at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, Yeah,
no
they got to get more
length to the
protection
lineup.
down there.
None.
You know the 3 for 5 day from KB, you know what that means, right? That means that I won in key performer.
Yes, you did.
But see, if you'd have let me go first, I would have picked Rizzo, and then you might
I might have taken KB.
Chivalry's dead. I
Didn't
know.
work out. Time for our James & Sons Fine Jewelers Fielding Gem. David Bodie made a diving catch in left
here we
field.
go.
Not bad for, he's mostly an infielder. He did play some in the minors.
First
in
ever
left
major
field.
league start in left field. He's had a lot of practice in the minors, 117 some innings, but it doesn't get any better than that.
That's a heck of a play. I mean, big time. All right, we've got to take a timeout. Don't forget the Hawk documentary is coming up. It is awesome. Blue Cross Blue Shield Postgame Live. Roll.
Save big this autumn season during Menards Fall Catalog Sale. Get yard work done faster with this Poolon Pro Gas Blower Vac. Its 25cc engine generates a maximum airspeed of 230 miles an hour, and it converts easily into a leaf vacuum. Only $119. If you're serious about tool storage, then choose Master Force. This tool chest and cabinet combo offers 33% more storage than traditional tool cabinets. Just $758. Now during Menards Fall Catalog Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
It's not just a coaster, you know. It's an invitation.
Jim Beam on the rocks.
The bourbon that's been making history since 1795 invites you to make some of your own.
It's the music.
It's your favorite radio station. 103.5 Kiss FM.
And your radio makes you want to move.
Without the radio,
A hit would just not be a hit. People know a song because it's on the radio.
Chicago's #1 hit music station. Fred and Angie in the morning.
It's how I get to you.
Listen to me, my music. 103.5 Kiss FM. The best new music. The biggest artists.
All in one place.
103.5 Kiss FM.
I'll see you there.
Ignite something. Ignite the room. Ignite glamour and elegance. Confidence and independence. Only the perfect cut unleashes a diamond's power to ignite hearts on fire.
Available at James & Sons Fine Jewelers in Chicago, Orland Park, and Cherville.
Blue is 100+ majors, from education to aviation. An honors program that takes you around the world and leads to innovative research and Fulbright scholars. Blue is top 5 in the nation for community service 5 years in a row. Blue is students from all 50 states and 70 countries. Blue is 150 years, 100,000 alumni, one strong Sycamore community. Blue is Indiana State University. There's more to Blue.
Andy!
Brooklyn, what?
Look what I made.
It's a sandwich.
It's the perfect sandwich. It's the ultimate combination of Dietz & Watson maple honey ham, harissa chicken, and provolone cheese. It's the Mona Lisa of sandwiches. It's the Ham Melissa. Okay, we need to get this photographed professionally. Who do we know? Do we know anyone? Let me see.
Your Ham Elisa needs mustard.
Dietz & Watson. It's a family thing.
Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. All right, time to look back at Kelly's keys from the pregame show, sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. You got key number 1 perfect.
Yeah, the one and only thing they needed was a dry afternoon after spending 11 hours of sitting around in rain delays last weekend. They deserved this, and they got it.
They got it done. So that was a huge one. No delay, and now they can go home.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to get home at a normal hour.
All they
get
talked
something
about
to
was
eat.
the hurricane and what was going to happen, and lucky for them, the forecast, played in their favor. Finally, Mother Nature playing along.
There you go. All right, Cubs now get back on their plane, return home for for a weekend series against the Reds starting tomorrow night, a 7:05 game. Matt Harvey against Cole Hamels. Should be a really good pitching matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. These two both have been pretty good as of late, and Cole Hamels has been nothing but awesome since coming over. I mean, I look forward to watching this guy navigate a lineup every time he's out there. It's such a veteran pitcher, and he's given them such a boost, you know, every time he stepped out on the mound. And it'll be good to see if they can take advantage. I mean, with the Reds having just swept the Dodgers, maybe they come in here now and there's a little bit of a let-up. Cubs can take advantage. We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to find out. We'll see. His last start, he gave up 3 runs. Not a bad start. That's the worst he's done in a Cubs uniform. So, all right, thank you for watching Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. We've got our Hawk documentary coming up on the great Hawk Harrelson. Make sure you listen and watch. It is absolutely awesome. Kelly Lattifone working with you. Cubs win. Back home tomorrow night. We will see you.
We've come so far, I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars, I've been around. I felt some pain, I've seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days.
With our radar, Live Doppler 5, we can dissect the storm. We can see exactly where the more severe parts of it lie.
It's a high-frequency S-band radar, the most powerful Doppler radar anywhere in the region.
This gives us the ability to look out long range into the storms. With Live Doppler 5, we have the best view.
We can cut through storms. That gives us the advantage of producing a forecast that's much more accurate and on target.
When severe weather's approaching, it really allows you to pick a storm apart. Having your own radar is invaluable.
When my hair gets too long, I lose my edge. But when my cut's right, I'm right. I'm back to being me. My dimples activate. My cleft chin becomes cleftier. I get a twinkle on my tooth. And I speak fluent French. Garbage. Chaise lounge. Mayonnaise.
Au revoir. Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Fast, reliable internet is crucial. Does it ever go down?
Yes.
Can't do my job.
Business grinds to a halt.
Our gig speed network not only downloads files up to 20 times faster, we go beyond fast with 4G backup for complete reliability. So if the unexpected happens, you stay up and running. We lost power, but not to that.
I want that. Just one more way we go beyond AT&T. For a limited time, get fast, reliable internet for a low price. Call now. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Time is running out to go rogue wherever and whenever with DirecTV Cinema. Complete your Mission Impossible collection today and watch anytime, anywhere. Bring the international intrigue to your big screen. Stream the edge of your seat action on the go. Or download all the danger and double crosses to your favorite device.
They're coming after us with everything they've got.
It's your mission, should you choose to accept it. From DirecTV Cinema. Movies on Channel 1100.
Like Anderson Chevrolet, treat yourself to luxury.
Style. Confidence.
Your dream car, you're gonna love it.
Stop by our showroom and see the latest and the greatest.
With, as always, the strongest selection.
And the best value is right here in Chicagoland.
It's September, and now's the perfect time to lease a Cruze LS. Just $149 a month for 24 months.
Visit Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Chicago, 1 mile west of the Kennedy on beautiful Irving Park Road.
Mike Anderson Chevrolet, the Chevy Giant.
Visit us today.
Medical alarms for people who fall or have medical emergencies. You never think you'll need one until you do. Hi, I'm Lonnie Anderson for Advantage Alert. Today, our advanced systems locate and protect people inside and outside their homes, plus when they're on the road, allowing users with the press of a button to speak with an operator who can summon help. And even after 30 years, Advantage Alert's products remain amazingly affordable.
Call 800-915-3106.
You can put it on the board. A two-run homer for Big Fred Thomas. Sox lead it.
You know, he's always had this aura about himself. You know, he always carried himself a certain way.
Hawk was the first impersonation I ever did. He's very much part of the reason I do this.
Makes the catch. What a play.
makes the catch.
Was he a homer?
What a play by
Is that
Wise.
okay? Was that Hawk? Yeah, that's okay.
I hear broadcasters, I hear people using Hawkisms across this country. We travel, we hear them.
Here you go, can of corn. Back him up. Don't stop now, boys. Get through.
He can tell the story of what's going on in the game, and you don't have to be sitting in front of your TV to watch it.
Hawk Harrelson is intense. He's intense about everything.
And just a monumental, absolute monumental, brutal call right there, and not having the guts
tells the truth.
to stay with it. Joe.
Sometimes people like it, so a lot of times people don't.
You gotta be kidding me. That is so bad. That is absolutely brutal.
Me and Wimpy together it was magic.
I'll tell you, I would just love to be in that kind of shape when I'm 67.
Well, I certainly wish that we look half as good if we live as long
And
as
Hawk Harrelson is the broadcast as it pertains to the White Sox, and he's been that way for quite some time.
He takes off. There's a base hit by Lance. Calderon on his way to third. He will get there as Buhner gets to it, so the Sox come gunning right out here in the bottom of the first.
He's done it all. Like, if you really look at everything the guy's done, broadcasting, playing, GM, golf, it's really amazing. This guy's done a lot of different things and was really good at a lot of different things.
He believes there's actually two people living inside of him, one being Hawk, the other being Ken. And never the twain shall meet.
On the air, he's the Hawk. Off the air, he's Kenny.
People think I'm, half crazy, which I don't think they're wrong, about my alter ego.
He's an institution. He really is, or he belongs in one. Either way.
Having two personalities is a really interesting thing, and I think sometimes we all kind of want to separate ourselves, right? Like, I think that's a luxury.
I think most players probably, most athletes, they do kind of have that. They don't have the name to go with it.
Dick Hauser was the guy who gave me the nickname Hawk. So he was calling me Henrietta Hawk. And so one day I struck out 3 or 4 times. We're in the shower, and he said, "Hey, Henrietta." I snapped. I walked up. I called him Slick. I said, "Slick, let me tell you something. I've had enough of your BS. I've had enough." I said, "The next time you say that, I'm probably going to hit you." He said, "Well, maybe if you get a hit every now and then, I might change." So don't you know, the very next day we were playing, I think, San Francisco, and I hit a home run. Got a double as well. Walk in the shower. "Hey, Hawk, what's up?" And so there was Hawk.
His family comes first. And I think that goes for Hawk as well, but very deeply for Ken.
He's still a Southern boy from Savannah, Georgia. All the years that he's been in Boston, New York, and Chicago, he's still a good old boy.
Now this street right here, this is Fort Jackson over here, old Fort Jackson. We used to go down there and walk down the dirt road. We'd go down there and go duck hunting. We're gonna turn left, go to Carson Bluff. This is New Mexico here. Yes, I went to school right there. This was Father Bede's office. It was a big office, obviously, as you can see. And this was our chemistry class. Father Aloysius was the teacher here. My seat was right here. It was a corner seat right here. And Father Aloysius was a cantankerous old guy. And we used to, occasionally shoot spitballs and stuff like that because we were more interested in who we were going to play that day or the next day or whenever it was. So I had my rubber band ready and ammo ready. And I went, well, like that. Father Aloysius turned around and he saw it. And his saying was, "Beat me to the door." And if you beat him to the door, he wouldn't hit you, okay? If he got you, he'd take that clipboard and he'd just pound you right over the head with it. So he was walking over that way, and I knew I couldn't beat him to the door, and the window was open. I went right out the window. I jumped out on the street. The next day when I came to class, like nothing ever happened. My locker used to be right here. This is where it was. And when we'd get our books, first day of school, I always brought a belt with me. And I would tie my books up and I'd put them in that locker, and the next time I touched them was the last day of school. Where do you see this gym? And this place was absolutely small, and they had seats all up and down over here and over there. I mean, you couldn't get in. And then down by the stage, you can see where the stage is right underneath the basket. The other team, a guy could be coming down hard or fighting for a rebound, and all we do is give him a little nudge. Now he's on stage, you know. No hot water. It was just a unique school. My mom bought me this like beginner set, you know, with a 3-5-7 9-iron, you know, and a putter and a driver. And I would skip school sometimes, and I'd hitchhike out to Mary Calder. I didn't even play baseball my junior year in high school. Here, I didn't play baseball. I just fell in love with golf, and I wanted to play baseball, but I also wanted to learn how to play golf. And about 6 months after I started playing, I shot my first even par round. They did not have a golf team here. And I went in Father Bede's office, and I told him, I said, Father Bede, I said, we got a couple pretty good players here in golf, and we don't have a golf team. Can we do something about that? So he called some of the alumni, and they put up some money, you know, and we got a golf team. And in my senior year, I won the city championship. I love Savannah. It gave me a great opportunity to play against terrific competition, terrific athletes, and terrific competitive athletes. There's a difference, you know, you can get a lot of athletes who are good physically, but the physicality is not all it takes to be a great athlete. It takes a lot of what's inside. And all of the Savannah athletes, almost all of them had a lot of inside. As I said, this was the low income, very low income area in Savannah. And they cleaned out a lot of the homes, so they used to call them Deptford homes. They were really low rent places. But there's our house. My house I grew up in right straight ahead. First thing pops in my mind is the day, I don't even call it my father, the day that my mom's husband left. They got into a fight, and she was going to kill him. She always had a pistol. She always carried a pistol in her purse, which was very common back in those days. And they got into a big argument, and I remember hitting him as hard as I could. And I was a big kid, but still, you know, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid's not going to hurt a man, you know. And I hit him. That's the first thing that always pops in my mind when I see the house. I mean, one bathroom, 2 small bedrooms, small living room. I think the house, when they bought it, I think the house cost almost $6,000. When I lived here, it was all dirt roads. We thought we were in hog heaven when they finally paved them, you know. Those railroad tracks down there, I used to walk down there, and I walked all the way down those railroad tracks to a place called Coke Field, which you couldn't even tell it was a base. They had 2 diamonds here. Coke built them. It was 1952 when that was the first Little League game I ever played in Savannah in the history. And I hit 3 home runs and a double in that game. So it was a big splash in the paper, so everybody started following me, and it was ironic that, you know, the kid that hit 3 home runs and a double in the first Little League game in history would later go on and play in the major leagues and be voted baseball player of the millennium for the century for Savannah. The day after we graduated in June from Benedictine, next morning there were like 6 or 7 cars parked out in front. They were all scouts, because back in the day, they didn't have drafts back in that day. You could sign with anybody. And my mom missed work that day to talk to these scouts. There were no agents back in those days. My mom was my agent. A guy named Clyde Klutz from Kansas City came in.
He said, what have you been offered? She said, well, we have a $50,000 offer from the Dodgers. And they said that if they had to, they would go higher. She was very honest with him, you know. Clyde started talking. He says, I can't go that high. He says, the most I can go is $30,000. He says, but I got to tell you this. He said, if he signs with us, by the time he's 20, 21 years old, he'll be in the major leagues. He talked her into it. My mom, here where she was, making $56 a week, and she's going to turn down $20,000 because of the way he sold Kansas City to us. And he was right. You know, when I was 21, I got to the big leagues. That was probably the happiest day we had because we hugged each other, and I went out. She had this old rickety car, and I went out and bought her a brand new Pontiac. It was an interesting, in retrospect, childhood, and I owe everything that I have today to my mom. You know, it was just, she was a strong lady, beautiful woman. I remember last time I saw her, I was announcing with the Red Sox, and my friend called me. She had pancreatic cancer. Back in those days, that was 100%. Today, you got a shot. He called me, Tom Freeman was his name. He was a golfing buddy of mine. And he said, she's not going to make it home. Or Kenny, he called me Kenny. He said, not going to make it, Kenny. You want me to tell her? I said, no. I said, I'll come home and tell her. So I flew home and went in and saw her. And she was about 95 pounds, eyes, you know, back in her head. And finally, it was the hardest thing I ever heard to say. And finally, I told her, I said, Mom, so you're not going to make it. And she just looked at me for about 10 or 15 seconds, and she says, honey, I'm ready. That was it. She hung on for a while. Then my best friend called me, says she's gone. And I'll never forget, I said, good. I prayed every day. I prayed every day she'd die. She had no quality of life, you know. That was just her and me right there in that place for a long time. She loved her boy, and that boy loved her. To this day, I'm still a mama's boy.
Ken is this truly loving soul, I think, with a hardened hawk exterior.
I'm not sure that we have some people, and Hawk is one of them, that you're going to see the likes of them in the near future.
You got to be true to yourself, and that's what he is. That's why it works. He's distinctive.
I looked at him, and he had a very distinct nose. He had long hair, which at that time, everybody in baseball, what's the deal here with that? And he had a swagger.
He was the Dennis Rodman of his time. He was out there. He was ahead of everything and very unique, that's for sure.
So now he's with the Red Sox, who have a much higher national profile. And by the next season, if I recall this correctly, he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated wearing a powder blue Nehru jacket with long hair, at least by the standards of the time. And the expression then was that a person like that was mod. He was a mod baseball player.
The city itself hadn't changed any. The culture has changed. When I signed, the day I signed with the Red Sox, you know, I was making $12,000 a year with Kansas City. I went up to sign the contract, and when I walked out of the ballpark, I walked down here to Shawmut Bank. I had a check for $92,000. Walked over to a guy sitting at the desk. I said, I got a deposit I'd like to make. He said, well, the tellers are right over there. I said, well, I think you better look at this deposit. He looked at it, he goes like, whoa! At that point, you know, Boston was not in a baseball setting like it is today. They had no Red Sox Nation, you know. And then, of course, '67 came along, and then I came over here, and it was the impossible dream. And I called it the year of the Renaissance man, Yastrzemski, who he was, in essence, the Renaissance man. He's the one that brought baseball back to New England. And that's when the Red Sox Nation was born in 1967 when we won the pennant. It just changed the whole culture of baseball in New England. I mean, it became a phenomenon.
I think sometimes because of him being the Hawk, his years in his baseball career gets lost because one, it was so short, and then also just because the persona took over from what he was actually doing on the field.
He was one of my favorite players because of how charismatic he was. You know, he was the guy who had the loud close away from the field and brought in the batting gloves, you know, hit a lot of home runs, you know, struck out some. But always fascinated me as a unique character. And, you know, now in baseball, there aren't nearly as many.
If you spend any time at all in Boston, they remember everybody, let alone guys of that magnitude.
Oh boy. Wow. When I step into this box, either I'm going to have a sense of control or he's going to have it. One of the two of us is going to have it. Sometimes both of us have it. That's when you see some really good at-bats. Chris Sale hits the spots tonight. I don't care where I'm standing. I'm 0 for 4. If Corey Kluber hits the spots against me, I don't care where I'm standing. I'm 0 for 4. And Ted Williams was the guy who taught me and got me thinking that way. You've got to understand how to take an 0 for 4. Hawk was my pressure taker offer, so to speak. I'd be on the on-deck circle a lot of times, and I'd say, all right, Hawk, get ready, we got to do something. When he has to be at the plate, man on third base, I'd be pulling for him to strike out or pop up. I was prepping my mind to be ready in case he did strike out, which was not very often, or pop up, which was not very often. But if he did, then when I left that batter's box, I was more ready to hit.
That brings Ken Harrelson to the plate.
Than I would if I'd have been, come on, Carl, and all of a sudden he pops up, strike out, and I said, oh, now I got to do it, you know. There's a huge difference in that approach. First day in, I'd go to Legal Seafoods, have lunch. If we won the game, I'd go back the next day and sit in exactly the same place and have exactly the same thing. If we won that game, I'd go Legal Seafoods the next day, exactly the same place and exactly the same thing. Yeah, I'd come out. This is where all the college kids sat, you know. Oh, we're there and there, and boy, they go crazy. I remember 7th game of the World Series. Tim McCarver comes up to the plate, and somebody before the 7th game of the World Series stole my glove out of my locker. And to this day, I have no clue who it was. And I found Danny Osinski, the right-handed reliever we had. He had an extra, and I used his glove. And I remember McCarver's at the plate, A couple guys on, and he hits a line drive right over here. I come over here and I make a dive, and I got the glove, my ball in the glove, in Osenski's glove. I hit the ground and it pops out. Both those runners score. 7th game. I'm not saying that cost us the World Series, but I'm saying it changed the momentum.
There's a line drive in the right field. Harrelson coming in. He dives for the ball. He drops it now. There goes McCarver on his way to second. A great try by Ken Harrelson. He was ready to indicate that McCarver was out, that Harrelson had caught the ball fairly when he saw it pop out of his glove. A fine try by Ken Harrelson. It winds up a double for Tim McCarver.
But I used to look at Yaz all the time, and he was instrumental in that because he would move me. He had great baseball acumen, you know. And I'd be standing here, I'd look at Yaz, and he'd be over there, he'd be going, get further over here. I'd take a couple of steps over here. He was never wrong. Every time he said that, it gave me a better chance to make the catch. But I made a lot of good catches out here. And the one I remember the most is the one that popped out of the glove. But I walk in, I come up to that exit right over there, walk out, just stand there for a couple of minutes and just look out here and reminisce. And this is the famous green monster right here. 37 feet high. Baseball was my worst sport, but I wanted to play basketball. That was, to me, the most fun game to play. I could have gone anywhere for football, which I signed to go to the University of Georgia as a quarterback. I hardly got any offers for baseball. They were all for football because I was All-American in basketball. And those two sports, but there was no money in basketball and there was no money in football. And my mom was making $56 a week. So I got a big bonus to sign with Kansas City. And my mom wanted me to play baseball. And I was a mama's boy then, and I'm still a mama's boy today, and I'll be 77 in a couple of months. She made me make the right choice. The people here in the fans in Fenway were almost crying out for a personality, and Hawk gave it to him. And he knew what he was doing at the time. He knew what he was doing. He played to it, and it became. In fact, there were some stories that were written here by writers who had been here, you know, for 40 years, about how they had never seen anything like that, even with Ted Williams or any sports personality in Boston. How a sports personality could capture a town to that extent in such a short period of time. And of course, I was just sitting back, relaxed, and strapping it down and watch Hawk go. Let him do his thing, you know. Daisy Buchanan's, what a place. This place brings back a lot of memories, wow. It went back in through there, but the bar it looked like this, but it was longer. And I'll tell you, we had so much fun here. Told more lies than you could ever believe. You had to almost be an athlete to get in. It's just so simple. But he allowed all the flight attendants and all the young unescorted ladies to come in. That's why the guys came. You know? That's why it was such a famous place. Tony C. and I used to go around and say, okay, you can come, and you can come, you can come. And then we'd go up to my place or his place, you know, one of the two. I'd walk into Jimmy's Harborside, was my favorite seafood place here in town, and I'd walk in and get a standing ovation. That was part of the persona of Hawk. I was embarrassed a little bit. He wasn't. He loved it, you know. So.
When he's in his private time, he's just Ken. And that's a fact. I've seen the difference. But when he is in the public and people approach him, he becomes the Hawk. There's a definite difference between the two personalities.
The first time through, probably he was Ken Harrelson. And by the time his career was winding down, he was the Hawk. And I think that was the big change. And he was a personality. He was his own guy. He didn't change. And that carried over into his broadcasting.
So phone rings and Wendell answered it. And he says, Hawk, he says, phone for you. It's Alvin, Dark. He said, Kenneth? He says, come on over and put the red hat on tomorrow. I just traded for you. I said, what? He said, I just traded for you. I said, Alvin, you gotta be kidding me. I said, I love you, you know that, because we were good big golfing buddies, you know. I love the guy almost like a dad, you know, because I never had one. And I said, I started thinking, I said, Alvin, I said, how could you do this? I said, I'm happy here. I said, I love it here. And all of a sudden it came out. I said, I'm not coming. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'm not going. I'm not going to go. He said, Kenneth, you'll come play for me. I know you will. I said, Alvin, I'm telling you what, you made a mistake. I'm not going to go. But as it turned out, I wouldn't change a thing, because if that's the case, then I wouldn't have gone to the White Sox, you know, in 1982. And that was another change in my life. Is when Harrelson and I went to Chicago. I mean, I wouldn't change a thing in that respect.
Hawk is presented by Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series and the brand with the most J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner.
Now get an F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months or lease one for $219 a month during Truck Month. Only at your local Ford store.
And a bullet of a toss down the side, first down.
Yes. Stop, do not get up. You'll jinx them. Remember last season when you got up and they lost?
I know, but I'm hungry.
No, I thought you cared about our team.
I do, but I also care about my belly.
Fair point.
He's more of a cutback guy, 5'10", 205. Put him on the line, not sure who was in there. Good catch there, and Shakes free for some extra ground. Kids making plays tonight.
Dietz and Watson. It's a family thing.
I love game night.
They canceled. They couldn't get a sitter. How are you not getting this? Any guesses?
A llama and a buggy.
Bam! I hereby conquer Australia.
It's about time. Whoa! What do you have? What's up?
Because we're playing on carpet.
They got a sitter. They're on their way.
I'll clean.
I'll get more food.
Okay.
Dietz and Watson. It's a family thing.
Everyone in the surgical department, please raise your hands. You're all fired. Any department who places billing above care, you will be terminated. Oh, I am serious.
This hospital is the city's last line of defense.
They're not going to let you just help people.
We all feel like the system is too big to change. But we are the system. We need to change. Let's get into some trouble. Let's be doctors again.
My first impression when I met Hawk was different than what I thought it was going to be, because I had only known him as the flamboyant baseball player, the guy who wore the Nehru jackets and, you know, rode the mule. But when I sat down and talked to him, I realized that this was a guy that really knew baseball. You know, we had an opening after the '81 season, and Eddie Einhorn was pretty much in charge of finding somebody, and he narrowed the list down to Don Drysdale and to Hawk. We couldn't decide between the two of them, so we decided to go for it and bring them both in.
I'm Ken Harrelson. My partner Don Drysdale has just run real quick back up from the field where he was emceeing the ceremonies down honoring Tom. Everybody, and welcome to beautiful Comiskey Park. I'm Ken Harrelson along with Tom Paciorek as the Sox get ready to win for the final time ever here at Comiskey Park. The Sox have played a game. Here come the White Sox for the first time ever as they hit the field here with me at new Comiskey Park. Yeah!
Hawk he's had so many great moments in that booth. And I got a lot of years of watching it. When I was DHing a lot, I would just go back into the clubhouse, trying to watch the game from the perspective of the TV.
Hawk was a longtime baseball guy. He understood the game very well. He understood hitting phenomenally well. And I knew that he had definitive ideas about the game of baseball.
You could see that there was a certain amount of respect for him, for Don. They melted into each other. I mean, they really played off each other when they were broadcasting, and I know the years that Don was here, he had a blast.
Because of the coining of the phrase "Holy cow," the Daily News presented him with the "Holy cow," and the cow came up. Phil went up to say hello, and the cow knocked it right on his fanny.
Hawk and Wimpy, what a duo! Very unique for the White Sox fan. And I think that make him better.
But I always had a lot of respect for the way Hawk, delivered everything. You know, how much he knew about the actual game of baseball, too, in addition to, getting a good knack of how to broadcast the game.
He was a lot of the reason to love some of those teams that were really struggling. I mean, he and Wimpy together it was magic.
Stubbs playing shallow. Here comes the Spankster.
He was digging around him. He was flying.
When you talk about White Sox, you talk about people like Frank Thomas and Hawk.
You can put it on the board. Yes, number 300. Our congratulations go out to the Big Hurt Frank Thomas on the 300th homer of his career.
On the Big Hurt. He started calling me that. This big guy's hurting the baseball.
That ball hit high and deep to center field. He heard it.
It's weird now. I go places, people call me Big Hurt, and I never heard the name Frank Thomas. It's a Big Hurt. Big Hurt's here. So it's stuck, and I'm eternally grateful for that.
The passion for big moments especially is truly remarkable.
I'm glad I was with the White Sox when I did that. Icing on the cake. No one could do it better than me.
There's so much he's added to the baseball lexicon that people just say phrases he's used and they don't even realize they're his.
He walks in, people are saying his Hawkisms. I've heard him on the national broadcast across the country, people are using him.
Oh, you can put it on the board, yes! And that's just, I heard it so many times over the years, it never gets old.
It will. It won't.
I like you can put it on the board.
So probably you're dadgum right. That was always my favorite one. He would say, "You're dadgum right, I am."
I love He Gone, and I love You Can Put It on the Board, yes.
Mercy is my favorite. It reminds me of him and Don Drysdale when I was young and growing up. Mercy, Don, mercy.
I always like the little cliche, you can put it on the board, yes. Or if you're Camelback Mountain, yes.
Like 13, he's not gonna put up with that. He will take care of that right away. And when I listen to that means he know who I was. He know what I think.
What we have here is an American League umpire who has no idea what he is doing.
Hawk's best attribute, honestly, is he doesn't give a fuck about anything else that anyone says about him. He doesn't give a fuck.
There's too many guys that play it safe, announcing these games that are afraid to say what they really think, and he's going to tell you, he's going to tell you what he thinks. He doesn't care if there's a microphone in front of him or not.
I tell you, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Lance Barrett has been absolutely brutal. Brutal.
Well, announcers aren't supposed to get on the umpires. They're not. But at the same time, what's wrong with telling the truth and saying, "Hey, this guy missed the call"?
And now he just threw him out of the ball. Joe Cooley, I'll tell you what, Joe West deserves a suspension is what he did. He needs a rest.
A lot of people are critical of Hawk, losing his temper and stuff, but what the heck? That's just part of life.
Don't bounce over the fence. Dadgummit. That's enough of that, lackey. That's enough of that BS. You can bet your sweet bippy somebody on that team's going to get drilled.
Nothing he does surprises me. I know sometimes people get upset at some of the things. Maybe he gets a little too testy with umpires once in a while, but that's his love for the White Sox.
Him in the booth was more like an extension of the dugout. This is the way he saw the game, and he was pro Sox every day, and I loved it.
He wants him to do so well every day that it will color his viewpoint, and that's okay. He's a home broadcaster. He's not working on the network. He's working for the White Sox.
What's wrong with that? He gets a paycheck every week. He gets a large paycheck from those guys. And I don't see anything wrong with it, and I adapted to that. You know, when I was there, I was a homer too. You know, working every day here, you want these guys to succeed. You want them to play better than the other guy, than the team in the other uniform.
If you're a White Sox fan and you're a White Sox lover and you turn on a White Sox game, you want the guy to be a White Sox fan.
Hawk Harrelson. All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right
My
here.
all-time favorite moment of calling a baseball game was Mark Burley's perfect game, only because of who threw it.
And so as it rolled along, and now each out got serious, and with it, Ken's voice started to go up.
In and out. He gone. That is 15 up, 15 down for Burley.
He was Ken for the first half of the game. He was Hawk for the second half of the game. And now every out was important, and every pitch was critical, and every ball that was hit, you held your breath.
Good job by Burley coming back from the 3-0 to get in. Yes, that is 18 up, 18 down for Mark Burley. It is.
And in that game, the crescendo that Hawk built, audibly, from Ken Harrelson early to Hawk Harrelson late, the excitement in his voice as out after out after out was registered.
The 2-2 pitch. Line drive. Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors. Mark Burley has a perfect game going to the 9th.
And here comes the Gabe Kapler at bat.
But you get Mark Burley out there, and when Gabe Kapler hit that ball,
And Wise, just inserted in the game, takes off on an improbable quest for an impossible catch.
Makes the catch! What a play! Wise makes the catch! What a play by Wise! Mercy!
Not only did he go get the baseball, but then it dropped on the way down. And as it's dropping, so is the stomach of Hawk and I in the booth. And it became known as the catch.
I don't think Mark Burley can believe it. He gone! 1 to go!
And what Hawk Harrelson did at the end of that game was magnificent. And I just sat back and listened and enjoyed like every one of the Sox fans.
Alexei! Yes! 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 History!
that's the greatest call for me that I've ever had in a baseball game, because it was Mark Burley. Just a guy with stones this big, a heart that big, smart, and could hit this handkerchief 98 out of 100 times from 60 feet 6 inches.
That game, that call, left an indelible impression in my mind. I still remember it. I still remember the catch. I still remember the look on the face of Mark Burley. But more to the point, I remember the look on the face of Ken Harrelson, because he was like a proud father.
We were talking about Mark Burley's perfect game and Dwayne Wise's catch, and I pulled it up on YouTube, and we watched this 30-second clip, and he had tears in his eyes when he watched it. And I think that that's up there. That's, you know, he loves Mark so much, and that moment was so huge, and he feels so blessed to have been able to call a perfect game.
Ken Harrelson off the broadcast, out of the booth, is I think a caring guy.
The guy away from the microphone is a family man. I hear the love in his voice when he talks about them. That's Ken. That's not Hawk.
You know, he may be a little bit gruff around guys in baseball, but around his family, he's truly a loving husband, great father, and now a great grandfather.
If you're in his circle and you're someone that he trusts and he believes in, he'll help you to the end of his days. But if you're outside that, you're dead.
I've been blessed. I've really been blessed. So I never had this kind of family type situation, you know. And when I fell into it like this and came into it, I just absolutely loved it.
We kind of forget, you know, all the family stuff because of what he does on the microphone. Sooner or later, you gotta back off a little bit and spend some time away from the ballpark.
See, when you marry a Greek, this is what you get.
Ken was doing some broadcasting for putt-putt, and my brother was a putt-putt champion. Long story short, Ken ended up calling me, and we ended up, you know, going out, and I really liked him right away, but I had no idea. My brother said, you know, he's Ken Harrelson. He played, I said, who?
When I met my wife, I was going out at night, and I was drinking a lot and getting in a lot of fights. And if you do that long enough, you're going to get dead, because somebody out there is going to kill you. And when I met her, I knew if I didn't stop, I'd lose her. So I stopped. And that was 46 years ago. I tell you what, she saved my life. I love her more today than I ever have.
I tell you, what impressed me most when I first met him was when I heard him talking to his mother on the phone. And that just got me, because I said, wow, what a guy. He was so wonderful to his mom.
Mark is tremendously devoted to his family. I mean, to begin with, he has a wonderful wife. I mean, he's so in love with his wife, and she's so in love with him, and they have so much respect for each other. And he's been a great father.
The love he's had for my mom, my sister, myself, his family. I mean, and he will give you the shirt off his back, help people out. I've traveled a lot of places and just run into people. Oh, I met the Hawk once. It was great. But all of those little stories add up, and you keep hearing them, and you know, and how generous he is and kind to people. And he's always been great. And you know, we're looking forward to having him home some more.
He's actually an introvert, which a lot of people would be surprised to know. And he's happiest at home with just his family around him. He's the most humble, giving, and generous person I know.
He's Ken Harrelson, my soulmate, you know, my best friend. He's a great dad. I just don't think there's any man that loves his family more than my husband. I know everybody loves their family, but he's a wonderful, like I said, partner, friend, husband, father.
Over the years, knowing his family, watching his kids, Casey, grow up, you know, as a kid and now grown man. So I've been around Ken. He's been a great family man forever. You know, I just remember him living all the way in South Bend and driving there every day, dedicated to get back to the family. So yes, there's a Hawk and there's a Ken.
I was young to see the Hawk. I saw glimpses of him, and you know, on the golf course, usually on the other end of it, when I'd have him down, and he'd say he's going to come back and get me, and he would. So we'll see what's going to happen. He's not playing as much golf these days, and neither am I, but I'm sure we'll be getting out there with his grandkids and my son and nephews. It'll be fun.
Next on the first tee here at our Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge, we have Mr. Ken Harrelson, A.J. Brzezinski, Casey Harrelson, and Chris Corliss. I suck.
If I had to say, how do I know Hawk best? It's from his golf prowesses. And he's a tremendous golfer.
Actually, one of the best stories I have of Hawk is going to the golf course and watching him do the Hawk walk. I mean, I didn't realize how good a golfer he was, but the man can flat out play some golf. And I saw him hit a ball one day about 275 on a line drive, and he came out there doing the Hawk walk. It was the best thing I've ever seen. So if you guys have never seen the Hawk walk, you got to ask him to do it. It's amazing.
We don't know what he's going to do if he can't play golf. So we got to get him a job or something. Something else.
Hawk and I golfed a lot of times, at home and on the road, so it was tremendous. And you got to see a different side of him, the side that competed, like he was when he was a baseball player. You could see that transfer into his golf game.
He's getting older. He can only play a few holes here and there on the golf course, which sucks with his health, but he's still a grinder. I'm excited for him in this next chapter of his life. If I grow up to be like half the man that he is, not what he's accomplished. I know I might not reach that point, but I'll be all right. And I just want him to be around for a long time so my son can see how awesome his granddaddy is,
Hawk is presented by Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series and the brand with the most J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner.
Now get an F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months or lease one for $219 a month during Truck Month. Only at your local Ford store.
White Sox fans eat over 60,000 nachos every season, but when you open a Wintrust White Sox checking account, one number is most important at a game: 0. We even reimburse ATMs outside our network nationwide. Wintrust, Chicago's bank.
You've got the ring, the trophy, the awards. That's great. But now it's a new season. And every guy on every team wants what you've got. And they're coming to get it. With blazing fastballs, filthy curves, and wicked line drives. It's a new season. How do you get back to the promised land? By getting back to 100%. 5-Hour Energy. Get back to 100%. Official partner of the MLB All-Star Game.
White Sox, Orioles. Coverage begins at 6 on NBC Sports Chicago.
Are you overloaded with debt, but the word bankruptcy scares you? How about debt elimination, consolidation, or fresh start? How about I have a plan and I can sleep at night? How about bankruptcy? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Search Geraci Law. Read over 12,000 five-star reviews, then click or call or stop in to see if bankruptcy is right for you. When you need to be debt-free, dial 1-800-CALL-PFG.
That ball is drilled by Matt Davidson deep to left field and gone.
Wherever you are, you're there. The NBC Sports app, your home for live streaming coverage of the White Sox, all connected by Xfinity.
We've laughed, we've cried, we've cheered. We say a farewell to a legend.
The ball hit way back. You can put it on the ball, yeah! And this ball game is over.
The fans in Chicago, they will never know how much I love them. There's an affair there. There's a love affair, and I love it.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I don't know that we'll ever see anyone exactly like Hawk Harrelson again. He was a genuine character as a player. And he's a treasure trove of anecdotes and colorful stories, not just about his own life, but about the interesting players he's crossed paths with.
It's been an honor and a privilege to have been here this long.
There is no doubt that Ken Harrelson or Hawk Harrelson, both of them, maybe two plaques, both of them deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And the only thing that I hope for him and his family is do it while he's still alive, or he can go and make that speech in Cooperstown, because I know one thing, he's going to set a record for crying during that speech.
There's not anyone who loves him more than we do. And there's some dads that are, and husbands and fathers that are loved as much, but no one is loved more than my dad. And we've had this life he's provided. He's worked so hard for so long, and he's provided us a wonderful life in so many ways. And I'm just very thankful for that.
I think it's somewhat sad that this is going to be his last year. I think Hawk's career should be capped off with induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, because I don't think there's any reason for him not to be there.
Hawk was a baseball guy. How can you not respect somebody who lives and dies with his team, cares as much? I wish him well. I have a profound admiration and respect for him, both as a person and as a baseball man. And that's the highest compliment I can pay anyone.
The White Sox for a long time have had a guy there in the broadcast booth who's done great service for the Sox, for the community. They feel like he's one of the family.
It's hard to describe Hawk. It's best to just listen to him and enjoy it. It's like a fine glass of wine.
Ken Harrelson is the Hawk. That's it. I mean, he's the Hawk. He'll always be the Hawk. He's got his own walk. He's got it all.
You know, his calls are legendary. I don't think anyone can ever emulate that. You can put it on the board. You know, that's Hawk. You know, it's a duck snort. That's Hawk. You know, Hawk came up with a lot of things, and he'll be remembered forever.
He's been one of my favorite people, baseball people, all time, for a long, long time.
He's passionate, just passionate, so passionate about the game, and he takes it, and I said, honey, you know, he keeps saying, I don't know why I care so much. I said, because he gives of himself. He gives, in anything he's going to do, he just gives 100%.
It's meant everything. It's been my life, really. It's 42 years. He gone. That's what I want on my gravestone.
Nephew's over there, and my son, as sad as it is that he's not going to be working as much or you know, and coming to the end of his announcing career, he's going to be home, and he'll be able to see them growing up.
Today I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I'm standing here on my White Sox field. I feel like I'm the proudest man and the luckiest man on the face of the earth. And I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for giving me almost 35 years of your time. Thank you so much. I love you all, and I always will, and I'll go to my grave with that.
Well, we didn't know that there was a book, and then we found out there was a book.
Yeah, I think it was like 06, 05. I know Ross Glode was here. I think he kind of spearheaded the movement. He was a big Hawk fan.
We tried to get every copy we was in existence.
I think we crowded about 5 of the books.
We bought them all, and the best, there was one that said, it was a library book, and it had the library thing in the cover, and it pulled out the little card, and it said, "This book sucks."
I used to read like a chapter or two before every game. We'd sit in front of my locker, and I'd sit there and read them.
Sometimes it'd be like a father with like his little ducklings, and he'd pull out the book. And
kind of like the Bible. You can just open it to any page, and you're going to read something that's enlightening.
Hawk. Chapter 1, greatest book ever penned by Hawk.
Chapter 1, the nose makes the man.
You handsome son of a gun, don't you ever die.
I look in the mirror and say that anywhere.
1 to a dozen times a day.
Depending on how often I shave, change my clothes, comb my hair.
Or catch myself, glance myself walking down the street in a window.
It may sound a little conceited,
but that's neither here nor there.
When I spot the ensemble, especially
the nose that goes with it.
I can't help myself.
That's great. That's Hawk.
He gone.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month. The place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series and the brand with the most J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner.
Now get an F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months or lease one for $219 a month during Truck Month. Only at your local Ford store.
This is an insurance commercial, but let's be honest.
Nobody likes dealing with insurance, which is why Esurance hired me, Dennis Quaid, as their spokesperson, because apparently I'm highly likable. See, they know it's confusing. I really have no idea what I'm getting, Dennis Quaid. That's why they're making it simple. Manning Cafe, and more affordable.
Thank you, Dennis Quaid.
You're welcome.
That's a prop apple.
I'd tell you more, but I only have 30 seconds, so here's a dramatic shot of their tagline so you'll remember it. Esurance. It's surprisingly painless.